Do you remember me saying that I really wanted to do something very simple and very easy? What am I doing? Alright everyone, so let's get started. Now for today's video, I'm really excited just because I received in the mail a package, and as you can see I went full on crazy on this package just because, do you see this? Do you see this? I was so excited when I saw this package just because, like, you know how I feel about Rare Beauty. I love their products. When you open it, it looks like this. Look at this. You're unique. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. And then when you go deeper into the package, you have a new product. Now this is the Pore Deffusing Primer. So this is a value of $26, and we are going to be trying this primer for the first time in today's video. So I think now Rare Beauty, they have two primers. So I do own the illuminating one and I do really love it. When I did a first impression on like the whole first launch new items, I wasn't really sure about this primer just because it didn't really do a lot. I was really used to the Glassy Skin Balm from Touch in Sol, and this one, it really does make your skin like look really dewy, really oily almost, but like in a really flattering way. So whenever I wanted to have a radiant look to my skin but nothing too crazy, I would go for this one, and I do really like it. And as you probably already know, my skin is desert dry. I have very dry skin, but I do tend to have larger pores around my nose. So I am really excited to try this Pore Deffusing Primer. And I'm going to explain to you what's in there really quickly. So you have hyaluronic, I'm not even going to be able to pronounce that. So there's
hyaluronic acid,
which is going to hydrate and condition the skin. You also have green tea extract, which is going to help soothe and calm the skin, which is quite nice because I do have a very sensitive and red skin. You also have vitamin E, which is amazing because I think vitamin E is good for like scarring, and it also says that it's going to protect the skin from environmental stressors, so it's going to protect the skin from exterior attacks. It's supposed to help fight shine, and also it's going to even out the skin texture and skin tone. Very interesting. Next in the box, you have these products right here. I'm so excited, especially because of these brushes. These brushes, they look absolutely gorgeous, and I do really appreciate like the fact that there's like a tint, a brown tint on these brushes, just so that it doesn't look like too dirty when you use it, I guess. So you have the concealer brush, you have the foundation brush, you have the concealer, and then you also have the foundation. I'm very curious about the foundation. I'm going to do quick swatches of the foundation and the concealer. And now I do own two concealers, and I'm really happy because I'm almost out of this one. So I did buy the shade 130N. When they reached out and like asked me like which shades I would like to have, I asked for the shade 140C. So I'm going to swatch the 130N first, which I have tried and I have loved. And then I'm going to swatch the other one. And then I'm going to swatch the foundation. For the foundation, I think I might have made a mistake. I'm not sure if this shade is going to be good for me. I picked up the same shade as the concealer, so the shade 140C. It might be too light for me, but in the bottle it does look dark. So yes, let me see. I don't know what kind of applicators. Ooh, such a really nice, thick, chubby doe foot applicator. I love it. But yes, so I'm going to swatch this also. Okay, the first thing I'm noticing, oh god, oh my god, it's going everywhere. It's so liquidy. Should I shake it? Oh yeah, there's a bead inside, so you really have to shake this foundation before you use it. It's very liquidy if you don't. So I'm going to give it a good shake. All right. Oh, there's foundation all over the place. Oh god. No. All right. Let me just start over. But I think I'm really going to like this foundation. Ooh, and this shade, it looks really nice as well. Let me stop talking now that I've shown you the products. For today's eye makeup look, I don't think I'm going to do something too crazy. I actually did not plan anything today for my eye makeup, so I'm probably just going to like play with makeup and see where the eye makeup look is going to take me. All right, so I'm back. My skin is clean, almost. I still have a little bit of mascara, but I don't really want to bother too much. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to moisturize my skin. Usually I've been really loving the Fenty Skin Hydra Visor, but just because this is really like oily type of daily moisturizer because of the SPF inside, I'm instead going to be using something a little bit more lightweight. This is the La Neige Water Bank Moisturizer Cream, and I've been using it quite often and I do really like it. So I'm just going to take a little bit and I'm just going to prep my skin using this. So next I'm going to be trying the Pore Deffusing Primer. I'm very excited. So there's a little pump and I'm just going to take a little bit of that. It doesn't really smell like anything. I think, should I use this all over my face? I'm not sure if this is the sort of like primer you're supposed to only use in the T-zone, but ooh. So first thing I'm noticing, it doesn't really have the same texture as the Porefessional primer from Benefit. Like it doesn't really feel like a silicone base primer. It feels like almost thick and hydrating. I think the texture is very interesting. I think I do really enjoy this texture, and it's kind of like drying into a Porefessional texture, but not really. It's a little bit more hydrating than that. So definitely I do see some like pore filling action and also kind of a blurring action. It's not making my skin very dewy. It is mattifying a little bit, but it's not like too mattifying. Even though I have very dry skin, I feel like I'm probably going to have a lot of usage out of this. So next I'm going to do foundation. I'm just going to apply a little bit all over my face. The color looks really nice for me. I'm not sure how much to use. I feel like this is the kind of foundation that you don't want to use too much just because it really spreads. Alright, so I'm going to take the foundation brush and I'm just going to start and buff this into the skin. So first thing I do really like about this brush is how condensed it is. It is applying the foundation quite nicely. Also, this foundation shade, pretty good. Pretty darn good if I say so myself. I love these types of foundation when they're so liquidy, they're so lightweight that you can really control the coverage. I did apply a lot. I think I probably could have applied less. So I'm just going to take my sponge and go over all of my face just because I think I went overboard with the foundation. This foundation is so lightweight, it looks like skin. Yet all my acne is gone. Like the coverage on this is really nice. Do you see my skin right now? My skin looks like skin, yet it's really unified. And what I really love about this foundation is that yes, it has a really nice amount of coverage. My skin is really unified, but like you still see a little bit of pigmentation here and there. Like it's not a full mask of coverage. It still looks really natural and it lets a little bit of like pigment peek through just so that the skin looks like skin. Alright, so enough about the foundation. Next, I'm going to use the concealer. I already know how I feel about this concealer. I haven't tried this shade yet. I think this shade might be a little bit too light for me. Not sure. This concealer is super lightweight. You really do not need a lot. I'm just going to start and pack this under my eyes. And as you can see, I did not apply a lot. A little bit goes a very long way. And this shade, I'm kind of surprised, but I think I like it better than the 130N. I feel like it matches my skin tone a little bit more, and it's also brightening my face a little bit, so I do really like this shade. Do you see my face right now? How flawless I look? And like, I'm not sure if you're going to see the texture of my skin. Like, it looks really smooth as well. You can see on my chin I do have a lot of texture, but usually around my nose I have a lot more, like especially under my eyes right here near my nose, but everything looks quite nice. What I do know is that I'm going to start wearing foundation on a regular basis because of this foundation. I love the texture, I love it. I'm not going to be able to do a wear test right now just because it's 9 o'clock, but I am going to use it tomorrow, and I'll let you know in the description box below how it wore. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set certain areas of my face. I'm not going to set my whole face just because I really like the texture of the foundation. It gives a really nice radiant, healthy look to the skin. So I'm just going to take my Milk translucent powder. I'm going to take that with a very small blender brush. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and I'm going to set my under eyes. This concealer, if you apply a very light layer, it's not going to crease during the day, but if you want more coverage and you do build the concealer up, I would recommend you to set it with a powder because it might crease. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to really lightly dust a little bit of powder under my eyes. I'm also going to take just a little bit. I'm also going to put some powder around my nose and around my chin because I do have a lot of texture there. Alright, I'm going to finish my complexion makeup, so I'm going to be using for my bronzer the Tower 28 Illuminating Bronzer in the shade West Coast. This bronzer is freaking beautiful, so freaking amazing. If you're looking for a bronzer to give you radiance and make you look like a bronzed goddess, look no further. This bronzer is amazing. It has a really nice creamy texture. So I'm just going to take the butt of my beauty blender and I'm going to saturate my sponge. I'm going to do a little bit of testing on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to go on my temples, in the hollows of my cheeks, and I'm also going to bring a little bit of this bronzer near the corner of my mouth just to give a little bit more structure to the cheekbone. I probably should have done this step before applying my powder, but whatever. So I'm just going to prime my eyelids really quickly. I'm going to do a really quick makeup look using my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. I really love this primer just because it's super lightweight and it also primes the lids quite nicely. So I'm just taking a little bit and tapping this on the lids. I really don't know what kind of makeup look I want to do. Oh god. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be using a blue liner. This is a gel paint electric blue liner from the brand called Illuminati. It's a really nice pencil. It's really creamy, but it does dry really quickly. So when you use this, you really have to work fast. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just need to do it. So I'm going to line my under eye on the very outer corner, but I'm leaving a space underneath my lash line, so I'm not really going to connect the line to my lash line. And I'm going to stop the line halfway going towards my inner corners. I'm going to do the same thing on the upper lash line, so I'm just going to, from the center of my lid, I'm going to do a straight line connecting to the line we just created. I think I'm going to blend this outwards. So I'm going to take a flat brush. This is a JH43 brush from Morphe. And I'm just going to do some very small tapping motions, and I'm going to blend the lines going outwards. So I'm going to leave the center of the liner very clean. So next, I think I'm going to go into this palette right here. This is the BH Cosmetics BFF Alondra and LC palette. If you want to see my first impressions on this collection, I'm going to link it right up here somewhere so you can check it out. But spoiler alerts, I did really like this palette, so I really want to try it again. So I'm going to go into the shade called Salvadorena, which is a really pretty brighter navy blue type of shade, and I'm going to start by taking that shade with a very small beveled angled brush, and I'm just going to tap over that blue liner. I'm going to tap off the excess just because our complexion is looking so flawless that I do not want any blue fallout on our cheeks. So I'm just going to set the glue in place. I'm just going to take a Q-tip and I'm going to clean some of these lines. Do you remember me saying that I really wanted to do something very simple and very easy? What am I doing? I think I like it, not sure. Next, what I want to do, I do want to add a little bit more dimension to this makeup look. So I'm going to go into my Escape Pod palette from Kaleidos, and I'm going to go into the shade called Space Oasis, which is a really nice purple shimmery shade. And I'm taking that with a flat brush, and I'm just going to place a little bit of that in the very center of my lid. But I'm not going to put this. I don't like that. I don't. Oh god, I'm just going to remove that. I'm happy that I did not go overboard with this shade just because I feel like it's, with the shimmer, it might have looked tacky, like too tacky. In the end, I'm going to let the look like this. I'm not going to do anything else. Just because I feel like if I go overboard, it's not going to look good. I'm also going to set my crease with the Milk Translucent Powder just so that the blue does not transfer to my upper lid. So I'm just going to take that with the fluffy brush and I'm going to pack this powder on top of my lid. Alright, I'm going to do the same on the other eye and I'll be right back. So just to make everything look a little bit more coherent, I'm going to do my mascara and I'm also going to fill my brows in. So I'm going to be using my Dare Real Magnet Mascara. And then for my brows, I'm going to use my Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade number 3. And I'm going to top it off with the 24-hour Brow Setter. Alright, so here we go. Do you like this makeup look? I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think I like it. Now with the brows and the mascara and everything, I think I like it a little bit more. Also, I just wanted to warn you, like something I'm noticing with this foundation is that it's not totally transfer proof. It's because I went ahead and cleaned up my brows and it was so easy to like remove the foundation. So I'm not really sure if this foundation is going to be like the most amazing budge proof type of foundation. But overall, like I've been wearing this foundation for the past like maybe hour and everything looks gorgeous. Like this foundation looks amazing. I'm not going to speak too much about the foundation. I'm going to keep my opinion at the end. So let's just continue with the makeup. So for my blush, I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Merit blush in the shade Terracotta. I'm going to take that with my sponge. Just going to grab a little bit of that blush and I'm going to place this on my cheeks. This blush is really pretty. I really like it. It has such a nice texture. Like it's not too dewy, but it looks like skin. It doesn't look overly greasy. And it's also applying quite nicely on top of that foundation. And why not? I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty highlight in the shade Enchant. These highlights are gorgeous. I love them so much. You'll think that this video is sponsored. This video is not sponsored. I just love Rare Beauty's product so much. So I'm going to take a little bit of that highlight on the back of my hand. I'm going to grab that on the very tip of my sponge. And I'm just going to dab that on the very high points of my cheeks. But the shine that this highlight gives is so natural. It doesn't really have any glitters. So it's really going to give you the most like natural sheeny look to the skin. And it also dries like matte. It doesn't really stay sticky. Alright, for my lips, I think this look is calling for Fenty Gloss. Yes, I think. I'm going to try it out. So I'm going to start by lining my lips. So I'm going to be using my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Endless Cacao. And I'm really going to fill my lips using this. And to fill my lips in, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Cream Gloss in the shade Honey Waffles. I'm not sure if I can pull this off. Let me know in the comments below if this lipstick color was a mistake. I'm going to sum everything up. You probably already know my opinion on everything. And something I'm very, very surprised actually is the primer. I've never seen a primer, like a pore filling, blurring primer with this type of texture. This texture is hydrating, which is crazy. But I think I'm going to love it on a regular basis just because I have very dry skin. Yet my pores are quite large. So I feel like this is a really nice in between. It's hydrating, yet I feel like it did really fill in my pores and my skin does look a lot smoother. Like, I'm not sure if it's kind of a placebo effect. Like, it says that it's filling and it says that it's blurring, so I'm going to believe it. If this said that it was like dewy and hydrating, maybe I would have believed it. But like, I think I do see a difference. Also, another thing, like the concealer, you already know my opinion on this. I did a first impression video on Rare Beauty when it first launched. I'm going to also link this up here somewhere so that you can see my first impressions on this concealer and on all of the new items from the first launch. But yes, I've been using this concealer non-stop. As you can see, it's almost like finished. Next, we have the foundation. I think this is probably going to be my new favorite foundation. I'm going to use the crap out of this. Do you see my face right now? Do you see how beautiful this looks? And this feels so freaking lightweight. It feels amazing on the skin. And the coverage was gorgeous. It's really liquidy. You can really build it up. If you're looking for something long lasting, I'm not sure if this is going to be good for you just because it does dry, but it stays a little bit slippery on the skin. So if you are looking for something long lasting, maybe don't really go for this one. But if you're looking for something very natural, very comfortable with buildable coverage, then yes, you should definitely try this. I'm obsessed. And also we have the brushes. I love them. I really like them, especially the foundation brush. Like, it's so dense and it really did apply the foundation quite nicely. I did apply a lot of foundation, so I had to go in with my beauty blender just to blend and absorb the excess foundation. But if you do apply a little bit, this is really going to spread it out, and it did not really absorb too much foundation. Same goes with the concealer brush. I really liked it. As you saw, I did not apply a lot of concealer and it really spreaded the concealer quite nicely. But yes, so overall, these are also quite nice. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. You can also subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every single Mondays, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of the makeup Mondays. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.